So here is a review for the Jordan 14. This is in the Hyper Royal colorway, and I managed to get these pair off eBay, and it was after the kind of hype died down, and these are pretty much retail, which is a nice thing because they've kind of started to creep up in price, and they're quite sort of limited, and Jordan 14s aren't really sort of well known to be around in the UK, and I wanted to sort of get an OG version in hand, and this was my first pair that I bought. And I actually became a really big fan of Jordan 14s because I feel like they have that kind of sporty sort of vibe to them. They look like a Jordan 3 and they feel as comfortable, compared to some of the other Jordans that are out there, and probably one of the most comfortable Jordans on feet in my opinion. And I also, like I say, like their sort of sporty vibes, the Ferrari inspired details, so the logo to the air intake for the car, and then you got the tread mark going at the back of the heel for the Jordan logo and the 23, and that's kind of following through to the traction outsole. And just in general, like the way it looks with the carbon fiber plate on there as well, it just gives off that kind of racy sort of sporty look to it. And I think you can sort of dress these up quite nicely with different sort of outfits as well, so that's the reason why I sort of really like them. And with this particular pair, I like the ribbing going on with the stitching, because some of the other pairs that I have has got sort of plain paneling, which is more like the black toe version, which I also really like. And these ones, I like the sort of blue hits, the Hyper Royal hits that you've got going on, and it's quite sort of minimal. So, but at the same time, it just really pops and gives you that sort of vibrancy and just that bit of colour and just that bit of edge. And it's a futuristic looking shoe as well, so on top of that, so for me it really works, and I really like it, and I think it's just a really cool trainer, and it's one of my favourite Jordans, like I say, and one to definitely get if you like the look of these. Some people don't like the look of these and probably prefer like a Jordan 11 for instance, but for me this is one of the better ones. So here are the details for the Air Jordan 14 White Hyper Royal. It comes in a Hyper Royal black and white colorway, and these have a EVA sole with a Zoom Air in the forefoot and also in the heel, and the price was £170. So with the comfort and sizing, I think these are more on the medium side. I think they feel a little bit clunky on foot because of the outsole and midsole being slightly heavier than the upper, but I wouldn't say it's bad. But I think compared to some of the other Jordans, I think this is more one of the wearable sneakers. And because it's, again, a newer silhouette, it's really good support around the arch as well, in my opinion. And I think the wearing time for these is kind of around the 4 to 8 hours, just for the leather to sort of soften. And the leather's quite sort of nice on this one. And I would recommend going up half size, especially sort of for wide footers, and that's what I tend to do anyway. And this is another one with a sort of really good grip, and it's got the sort of herringbone traction on there, so it should be good to go. So with the look and style, I like the white colour blocking on this with the blue hits. It looks really cool and quite sort of understated as well. And I know with this particular pair it was based upon a Michael Jordan's Ferrari, and it does give you that kind of sort of sporty vibe to it. And it's a good one to sort of wear, I think, sort of spring autumn time in my opinion. And I think you can sort of dress these up on the sort of smart casual side as well as being sort of casual, because I feel like if you have a sort of nice sort of racer leather jacket and wearing these shoes with some jeans, I think it would look really cool. And it's one of those ones where you can, like I said, dress up a bit smarter because they're quite sort of plain sneaker at the end of the day, and not too much sort of design hits. It's just, for me, it just has enough, and it also looks very sort of futuristic as well. So if you dress appropriately with kind of more sort of a futuristic type of outfit, then I think it'll look really cool. And I think going with the sort of white laces works. I think you can put sail in these would also work, and blue would also work really well. So with the final thoughts, I like the Hyper Royal colorway on this, and it's different, but also has those hits sparingly used in and around the sneaker. And I actually like the rib stitching as well. So I know with these particular pairs, like the Jordan 14, I think it was the Candy and this Hyper Royal, they have the rib stitching on there, and they look really cool. I'm also a fan of that, but I'm also a fan of the sort of standard version without the rib stitching, and being, i.e. the black toe. and they're really lightweight as well. So I really like the fact that the shoes feel sort of lightweight on foot, especially like the upper. I think the midsole and the outsole feel slightly on the heavy side, but it's not anything to worry about. And like I sort of said earlier, it's got that sort of futuristic vibe to it. Even to this day, it's one of those silhouettes, again being made by Tinker Hatfield, it's one of those ones where it does look futuristic, and even still, to me, it's one of those cool looking sneakers. And I feel it stands the test of time, and I think it will continue to do so. I think the cons are the cost. I think the pricing on Jordans in general too high, and this isn't a popular silhouette either. So with the look and style, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. I'm just a big fan of Jordan 14s in general. I think it pretty much has everything that I look for in a sneaker, and it has, good comfort, good looks, and it's quite sort of simplistic in its look as well as being designed intentionally. And the comfort level, I'll give that a 4. I think it's one of those ones where, like I say, it's on the more comfortable side, and because it's one of the latest silhouettes, I just find it, that's easily wearable. And the quality, I give that a 5. I think it's a really nice leather on this, and it looks cool, and I don't see too much issues in general with the way that it's been constructed. And the pricing, I give that a 4. Like I say, Jordans in general are priced too high, and when you got sort of silhouettes that aren't as popular as some of the others, I feel they should be priced lower. And overall, I give the score a 5 out of 5. I think it's just one of those ones where to me, it's such a wearable sneaker, and I'm a big fan of Jordan 1s, Jordan 3s, 4s, and now sort of the 7s and the 14s, and then I'll probably go with the 8s. Those are my sort of favourites that I can sort of wear within the Jordan line.